Hello and welcome to NPCs of Wildemount. As you know here on the show, I knew he was going to do that. We don't go too heavy into the combat. This week there were 3 combats. They happened. People killed monsters. Thank you. Goodbye.
We've got other things to do.
Hello and welcome to NPCs of Wildemount.
He's got them on again, and I didn't expect him to be wearing them.
I just found them because I'm packing. I'm moving, and I have
This is the final video of NPCs of Wildemount.
Oh, so now it's your turn to lie to the audience. No, we're still going to keep doing these.
He's moving out, basically.
Yeah,
it's just.
And he's moving into my room because he just wanted to be.
He fell in love with a girl.
Kind of.
He fell in love and then just ran away.
ran away from home. Critical Role is why we're here, reviewing Critical Role 2.
You got really awkward there, normally you don't. It's good.
I was just trying to tie it back into what we're actually here to do. Critical Role 2, episode 7, which is called Hush, which is also a Tool song from their first album, Opiate.
I'm just trying to go along with what you're saying.
So, yeah, hello and welcome. So, now this is a very combat-heavy episode. There was 3 individual combats that took up most of the 4 hours.
Yeah, so I want to get first we apologise this episode's late. With everything moving in a place that's just got real busy.
Yeah.
But yeah, there was a lot of combat, so it's not too much we can dive into, so we will be glossing over a lot of it because it's just combat. There's not really much to talk about. Bo took a hit.
Yeah.
Bo didn't take a hit.
He rolled a 17, he plus 3 to that, that was a 20.
They did math well.
No, they didn't, but yeah.
Yeah.
So essentially, yeah, we'll just go through and we'll do a bit more analysis than we usually do to try and desperately buy time and make this a full episode. Now, my first actual note is I already loved the players, but this episode I'm actually falling in love with the characters as well. I mean, I liked the characters, but now
didn't love them.
Now I'm getting invested.
Do you want to move in with one of them?
Yes.
Which one?
All of them.
Which one would you live with?
I would live in a Big Brother house with all of them. We could do that, like a reality TV show. Critter's house, the house of Critter. I'm not a TV exec.
There's a reason for that, apparently.
So yeah, I kind of feel like we're getting to know the character. We're getting to know them, but I'm starting to be invested in their stories.
Yeah, I am too. Especially how there was a moment that helps with my theory at the end of this episode, which we'll go into.
Is this Werewolf Watch?
Don't ruin the tease. Anyway. So we start off with basically them rolling initiative of coming across some knolls after the scream of the child. Yeah. Which, like, at the end of the episode, said, "No, don't touch my baby." The baby ended up being like 9 years old.
Yeah.
So I don't really know. Maybe she was just like, you know how some people say it's my baby when they're like 20 years old or something.
Yeah.
Yes, that kind of thing.
My mum does that. For some reason, you're haloed in light right now.
Because I am the good side of NPCs. You're the bad side. You're the one with weird pink.
What are you talking about? These are just my ears. Anyway, the first thing that happens really that kind of sets them on edge, as Matt says, the ceiling shakes and a bit of dust and loose debris fall down. That's kind of cool. I love that. I love foreshadowing when you're leading up to a boss battle. A murky shape emerges from the water and then dives down with a large splash, that kind of stuff.
But we also do get for this first battle, which is basically them just taking out a few mobs, really.
Yep. Remember, they're still being paid 30 gold per gnoll ear.
Yes, yeah, remember that. That comes important later on.
Yeah.
We get introduced to our guest character.
Oh, yes! And I just wrote, guest.
So, because I'm really good at pronouncing names.
Yeah, he's the best. That's why we have him.
We're going to say his name. It is...
Wait, I just got to prepare myself for this. Okay, go.
Shakasayi.
That was abysmal. I know 4-year-olds with dyslexia.
You say it.
Broken tongue.
Say it.
Wait.
Yeah, exactly.
Wait.
Shakata. Like, that's it. That's it there.
Shakasta.
That sounds about right.
Yeah.
It's Shakasta.
First go.
Yes, and to be honest, he's probably one of my favourite guest actors they've ever had.
Yeah, and he mentions at the end that he's done a bit of D&D with his kids, but it seems like whatever they play a heavy role play, because he was in the moments, he was acting, he was playing true to the character, man.
For those that aren't a fan of The Walking Dead, he plays King Ezekiel from Walking Dead. Yeah. He's the guy with the dreadlocks. Yeah. I'm a big follower of the comics, and I honestly think he kind of matches that description pretty well. Real name,
Carrie Payton. Yeah. Wonderful character, playing an old, elderly, strength of 4, blind,
Yeah, he was just a really kind of, you could tell this character's been in this world.
Yep.
And it just was created, and he was a really amazing addition. I really liked it.
And his first role on the stream was a Nat 1.
Yeah, for initiatives.
Anyway, combat kind of ensues, lots of stuff happens. Hyenas and gnolls, and a kid.
Bite the child pretty badly.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There's a lot of, like, children getting hurt in this episode.
That's kind of like the Critical Role style. Is like, and especially at the end.
Yeah. So essentially, not Sam's character runs up to free the child, but this small goblin figure just instills the fear of God more, and the child starts screaming, going, "Oh God, no, I'm going to die!" And it's like, "Don't worry, I'm here to save you."
It would be a natural reaction for anyone.
Now, a couple of times in combats this episode, once or twice, Not uses Tasha's hideous laughter. And he does so by telling a really bad D&D style joke. And he's been doing this the last, 2-3 episodes.
It's kind of like Scanlan's song.
Exactly. Yeah, Sam Riegel has found a way to work in his genius creative influence into his character. That's what I wrote in my notes.
Because I kind of do miss the songs.
Yeah, exactly.
As bad as some of them were, but as great as some of them were, I would miss that element from it. And you get a little bit of a teaser of his potential when he does the bits at the start. And does advertisements, so I'm glad he's found a way to kind of incorporate that.
To be Sam Riegel with a new character. So we look forward to seeing the really terrible jokes that he comes up with. I'm pretty sure he writes them himself, just based on the quality.
No, you forget. Critical Role scripted.
Oh, yeah, that's right.
Everything is scripted
by the Illuminati. So now, here's something I wanted to bring up. You're a player, I'm a DM.
More ways than one.
I really wish
you make that joke all the time, saying I'm the player. So I finally go on your joke, and you're like, I don't want to hear that.
Yeah, it was my joke, broaching in my territory. But yeah, no. So when you say to a DM, I want to do this, and you give them a simple little sentence, and then they kind of add stuff like, okay, as you hide, you run up against the wall, and you put your black. Do you like the DM kind of taking a bit of your action and jazzing it up with his own thing, or do you feel he's kind of taking your character and doing stuff where it should be your choice?
I see it as if it's a book, the DM is the one of those sentences that aren't said out loud. Yeah, like saying he kind of snuck around the corner and he felt the walls and how they felt and stuff like that. Yeah. That they're the narrator of what's happening. You're the one that's choosing the actions that the character takes place. Sometimes you can take more liberties with it. Yeah, but I mean, if you just say I do this, you assume that's all that you want your contribution to be to this narrative. Okay.
Because I wasn't sure if it would feel to a player like the DM was taking a bit too much. Matt obviously does how do you want to do this, which gives the players their chance to really get into the kind of DM flourishing. Yeah, I just wanted to know what your thoughts are.
It's a hard balance, but I mean, at the end of the day, I like to assume that if a player hasn't said something, it means they don't want it in. That's all the input they want. But if you go I sneak around the corner, and you go. He sneaks around the corner, then climbs up the wall. That's a bit too far.
Okay, cool. Right, so scene painting is fine. You don't feel like it's taking control. Okay, cool.
Cosmetically, it's fine.
Yeah, cool. And if you have thoughts on that, just pop them down below.
Discussion
we'll read them. Anyway, Sam disengages. Now, Sam's playing the rogue, my favourite class. The rogue goblin girl, my favourite class.
The rogue. It's roguist.
How long have you been sitting on that one, my friend?
Wow. Anyway, remember when we did our D&D movie?
I do remember that.
Yeah, and everyone just called it the Rogue.
Go check out that Dragon Tavern if you haven't seen it.
It's stellar content.
It's a great movie. Yeah. Anyway, Not is really getting into the whole thing of being able to dash and hide and disengage as a bonus action.
Learning.
One of the great things about being a rogue. So he does disengage a lot in this combat. However, and this is another point where Reddit was kind of going, was this within the rules?
There was a lot of that this episode.
There was. The hyena, Sam disengages, and he moves away carrying the kid, and the hyena gets an attack of opportunity on the kid. Now, Sam himself disengaged, which means you can move away without invoking an attack of opportunity, but Matt said the kid did not disengage, and the hyena got an attack of opportunity, even though Sam was carrying the kid. So a lot of discussion on that. How I
interpret that, the rogue has his body, he is in control of his body, so when he disengages, he doesn't just go boom, he kind of whirs away, he runs away. But with a kid, you can't really do that unless the kid is fully like tucked under in a part of the rogue's body. Yeah. It's still wailing around and it's not being stealthy at all.
I can see that. So the kid is still
it's a 9-year-old kid, so it's not like a baby like that. It's a child, a proper.
So I suppose it'd be more difficult to include the kid in the disengage or the stealth, for example.
Because especially it's a goblin as well. So a 9-year-old kid is probably
the same size,
maybe even taller. So it's basically just another goblin and trying to disengage from it.
And I suppose, like, technically, if they were to stealth and he was still carrying him, they'd probably both roll stealth. Yeah. So they are kind of operating individually, and I suppose it makes sense. But there was a lot of discussion on the Reddit threads about that.
Well, they couldn't control what the kid did.
No.
So the kid couldn't stealth unless he told him to stealth. Yeah. You know.
But that was just something I wanted to...
It's a hard one. Yeah. It's a tricky one, and I think Matt did... There's a few issues I have with how Matt went today. Yeah. Or this episode. But there's the important things I actually agree with him, and we'll talk about them when we get there.
Jester uses her action to heal the kid, which she gets a bit salty about because she wanted to deal some damage, but instead...
She's the cleric. She's the healer.
There's 2 clerics in this one.
But I mean for the party, it's the role,
there's also a lot of discussion on Reddit about what type of cleric, what domain, and what deity that the guest uses, but I didn't see any definitive
I think we'll find out and talk to Mike now.
Yeah. Cool. Now, the guest player has an Abraham Bird Midnight Hummingbird familiar, is what I have in my notes.
There's an actual name for it.
The Grand Duchess, aka Stacy, and...
Stacy's mom. She's got it going on.
This will be the last episode, I think.
No, really?
I can't deal with these puns anymore, man. It's too much. Of course, new player, devious DM... Insight checks. So not rolls an insight check on the guest player.
I think that was more comedic. Yeah. I don't think not actually had any suspicion whatsoever.
That's for the thumbnail, by the way, that expression I just
said. That?
Yeah.
I'll go. There we go.
Now, essentially, they kill the gnolls that are in this combat.
Yeah, look at the guards. They're not really significant.
It's basically a preamble battle. Maybe weaken them a little bit. Maybe get them to use a spell slot before they fight.
I felt it was just an excuse to introduce the guest player before they get to the harder bits.
And as we've discussed before, a combat is a great way to ingratiate a new player into a party. Because,
or kill one.
Or kill... Sometimes.
Sometimes when you introduce someone, someone dies at the same time.
Because that way you're kind of bound... You're kind of bound to...
Don't point at me, you did that.
Kind of bound to having that player with you, because you kind of owe them, because they helped you in the combat, or this or that, so it's a great way of doing it.
It's great bonding.
Yeah.
And then they kind of move along, do their introductions to the new guy. Yeah. And they trying to move stealthily down, and then they come across another combat. Yes, they also find some trapped commoners behind a couple of doors. Matt actually had 3 full maps this episode that he was like swapping out for the 3 combats. A lot of prep work, considering that it's like Dwarven Forge where you have to connect. And he's probably got a lot. I'd like to see his collection.
Oh, hell yeah. Anyway, they find the commoners. They then, after the combat, Kasasha, sees through his familiar to scout a bit. And essentially they sit and discuss, and they want to prep before the next combat. Yeah. So they kind of take a little position to just watch and figure out how they're going to do this.
Exactly. And yeah, they do that.
Roll initiative again for the second time within like an hour.
So this is, I believe, the Hogger character we're talking about. Yeah. This is where the big boss guy that has that crossbow. That's what I'm assuming. Was it specifically stated it was the same guy?
I didn't hear it.
I don't say it, but it's basically the Gnoll leader. Yeah. Which I assumed was the Gnoll leader from the town battle that they had ages ago. Yeah. So yeah, they battle this guy and. Yeah, it's half through the episode. Bo falls down a hole.
And takes, so 40 feet, so 4d6 of bludgeoning damage, but only takes 11, so that could have been a lot worse.
Yeah, it could have been. Yeah.
Now, also, Ford uses mage armor, and puts an ice armor on himself. You'll like this. He says, "Hey everyone, chill." To much of the grin of the rest of the party.
I should have written more notes.
Anyway, lots of battle strategy, roll initiative. There's some cool thought of, hey, let's use Sacred Flame on these guys. They will burst into flames, attract the attention, and then we can kill these guys. Yeah. A lot of good thinking.
To be honest, it was a very, very good battle. Like, this bit of the 3 battles was probably the best, kind of easiest easiest, well, just smoothest battle that they had.
My favourite out of the 3 was the last one, but I can definitely see that.
We're nearly there, Ollie. We're nearly there.
They really put a lot of work into this in terms of planning, which is great.
But they end up killing the Knoll leader. Basically, who got the how you want to do this? I didn't write down.
For that one, I don't actually have it written down either.
No, I think maybe it was not maybe.
Also,
normally I write these down. Normally I write down how you want to do this, but I didn't get that one. Jester. It was Jester.
Boom.
It was Jester. I really hope I was right on that.
Of course, I think my MVP for the week is Shikasta.
Yeah, he has to be.
Yeah,
I mean, to be honest, if he took just the way he talked, the way he mysteriously left at the end, the way he arrived, the way he actually brought. He shows the party what it's meant to be a good character.
Yeah, absolutely.
Not good as in played well or that, just a good alignment kind of character.
Yeah.
Because when they were worrying about getting Knoll ears, he was just like, well, what about the kid?
Yeah, and when Sleight of Hand stole some gold from Shikasta, he was like, hey man, keep it. Take it as payment for helping out kind of thing. So
they really showed the party like, you guys are kind of dicks. This is how to do actually a good thing.
So Shikasta also used the suggestion halt. Suggestion is a great spell. Essentially you've got one word, you can say duck, hide, halt, drop to the floor. That's one more word. Drop, but
drop, stop and roll.
You could do that, yeah. So it's useful, very, very useful. Not blah, blah, blah.
So the pack all dies, and they kind of move along a little bit further to a big chamber, which has 2 interesting beings. So we've got a priest. So this is like a ritual. Kind of.
Priest is wearing a whole bunch of Knoll fur and that kind of stuff.
And we get a manticore.
And a manticore baby as well.
That becomes very relevant.
It does. So roll initiative for the 3rd time around about the 3.5 hour mark. 3.5 hour mark.
And this is the weird things kind of, halfway through this battle, they have a debate basically. And they're like, do we run or do we fight?
Yeah.
Because people are falling, people aren't very, very good.
Level 3.
And then not.
Takes it upon himself
to murder the Manticore's child.
Oh.
Now, interesting move.
Yeah, it was bold.
It was a very...
haymaker, swing for the fence kind of
strategy. You could have just thrown the child away, ran with the child, distract the Manticore...
Sure. Now, as soon as the Manticore's child dies, obviously the mother goes into a rage. Matt's like, this creature has advantage against you. It's that angry.
Now, this is where people got a bit upset about because Matt didn't say it out loud, and the party kind of got a little bit uppity that they've got advantage. I think it's completely acceptable.
Yeah, I think it's really
You just murdered their own, or potentially only child in front of them.
So, essentially when the Manticore...
You're not just going, huh?
Yeah.
Swipe.
And it's a beast, it's very protective, it's a manticore.
It's a mother.
Yeah, so I think it was fair.
See, even the sky agrees with me.
I agree with you, and some of Reddit did, some of Reddit disagreed.
Yeah, Matt even had to chime in with a lot of the like crit fails scenarios, or when basically someone failed majorly, from a narrative standpoint, he made it like the opposite of a success.
You get a little extra added, like you drop your weapon or you fall
But people
over.
didn't like that.
Yeah. I love that as an
I love that too.
I don't use it every time, but certainly sometimes I'll say, you swing, it gets stuck in the tree, or you swing, and you find a strawberry.
Because even in battle, you can mess up pretty badly.
Yeah, absolutely.
And Reddit got, because if there's a big thread of it, Matt even chimed in on it, of his feelings for it. And to be honest, I'm on Matt's side.
Yeah,
I completely agree with it.
Yeah.
And I don't understand. I think it's more of that comes down to D&D purists.
Yeah, who are like, well, it's not in the rulebook.
Yeah.
Yeah. But hey, they're playing homebrew, it's an interpretation.
Critical Role is not by the book D&D.
No, it's not 15, it's a homebrew.
It's a homebrew, and it's the point of Critical Role is not for the rules, it's a narrative.
Yeah.
So Matt would sacrifice the rules for the narrative if it needs to.
Yeah.
Which we see all the time, it's always happened. I think this one was just like stepping it up a level of showing how much he's willing to do that.
Yeah, and I think it makes it interesting as well for the party to know that your actions have ramifications. If you kill a baby, that's not going to go unnoticed in the combat.
And it shouldn't.
So no, I'm on that side with that as well. I think as a DM, if you want to do something that's really relevant to the story, sure. I had once the owner of this chimera. The chimera was like distracted. The owner like calls to him, and she's attuned to him. It's her kid. It's like her magic pet. All it wants to do is protect her. When she was like, "Help me!" it broke that concentration. There was the same kind of decision, but I felt like it was justified.
Yeah. I completely agree with that, and it's an interesting debate. So make sure you let us know down below what you guys think, because we're just two idiots from New Zealand. We may be completely wrong, but
yeah, we'd love to know what you think on this. So just put it down there.
So basically, the battle kind of goes south on them. People start falling. They're trying to work it out. But I think one thing that I did pick up what Matt was saying is that he was specifically kind of telling them how damaged their foes were. Yeah. To give them a bit of hope of what to do.
He's looking ragged, he's swaying.
Yeah, and so basically once they went for... it was very lucky that the Manticore, when it turned or not, wasn't too good. Because at this point, Ford had been frozen.
Yeah, and so he's paralyzed. Any hit against him counts as a critical.
Yeah, and it has 3 attacks. Yeah. So that basically saved Ford. Yeah. So if didn't do this, probably things would have gone very south, especially with Ford getting 3 crits where you're paralyzed at how much health he had.
Yeah, that would have been pretty much possible. I mean, it could have rolled once.
It could have been like total instant kill. So it did kind of save the party. And when that started turning on, when the Manticore started missing, and they started to hear how damaged their foes were, I think they made a decision to stay and finish the job. Yeah,
that's where Not uses hideous laughter as well in this combat, and to great effect. I won't repeat the joke because I won't be able to do it justice, but it was.
We can never do justice by saying Regal.
No,
or by critical role.
It's true. Scanlan also screams at the civilians, who he's been kind of untying their manacles with Mage Hand.
Who does?
Not.
Oh, I'm pretty sure you said Scanlan.
Did I?
Yeah, I'm gonna check that. If I do, I will say sorry. And if you did, I'll be like
ha ha. Yeah. So attack. Now they do discuss running with their like free action to do 6 seconds worth of dialogue, which you get. Caleb gets the how do you want to do this on not the Manticore but another creature there.
On the priest.
Yep. He then has to do a wisdom save at the end of this because of Caleb's PTSD.
No. Okay. All right.
We're going to discuss this.
So. This is the first time I'm starting to think that maybe Caleb isn't a werewolf and he's just severely PTSD.
Right.
But...
Because your theory on Werewolf Watch was the fact that werewolves hate fire, right? And they get free.
Yeah. And that's why when they came up to the town and it was burning, I think the werewolves and fire has got something to do with it. Maybe he got bitten while his town was getting raided by werewolves and it was on fire and stuff like that. So when Caleb gets the how you want to do this, he had to roll.
Yeah, whiz
save. He failed it, and this bit really So he was staring at the fire. Yeah, and it was like Liam was waiting for a prompt from Matt to say what happened next. Yeah, but luckily the Manticore fell pretty quickly after this. Yeah. So the battle was over. Yeah. So I don't know whether he was paralyzed with fear, because it didn't state he was fear. He was just staring.
Kind of like almost catatonic, just being like, whoa, I can't deal with this.
Yeah. So I don't know whether it was the PTSD or whether he was starting to something in his brain, maybe the bloodlust, maybe he was starting to feel it, because it only happened when he got how you want to do this. Yeah. You would think it would happen with normal battles, but because he's the one that killed it, bloodlust, werewolf, boom. Caleb watch.
Whereas most of Reddit was like, okay, this is PTSD. This is him being really affected by seeing a fire, whereas his backstory has deaths, wreathed in fire. But I can see where you're coming from, and I know that Matt does, and especially Liam, does not like to go with the most obvious thing. So while everyone's going, oh yeah, it's PTSD, it could totally be the bloodlust.
Because I think he would have had that reaction to the town that was on fire if it was PTSD. Right. Because... But this is specifically him killing someone and they're on fire, and he was bloodlusting.
Interesting. Molly essentially runs up and slaps him, and then kisses him on the forehead.
Now, this is what I had a problem with. This is actually something I had a problem with.
Yeah.
Everyone knew what was going on with Caleb.
Right.
But they shouldn't.
Right.
The only one that should know, possibly, is not.
Yeah.
But Molly was just like, yeah, we'll deal with it later, and Jester was like that. They never had that discussion about what happened.
All they saw was him kind of just looking and sitting there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't think they would have had that reaction. They'll be like, what's wrong? What's going on?
Right.
Instead, it was, ignore this. And they didn't have to run out because it wasn't collapsing. Yeah. The battle was over. So I think the rest of the players outside the game know what's going on.
Yeah.
But inside the game,
they shouldn't.
I felt like that irked me.
Well, this is kind of like we were talking about last week about the rolling perception on something that you wouldn't have seen. Although most people in the comments said that, well, Molly was actually there. So
most people disagree with you.
Yeah. Well, no, it's fine. It's fine.
Yeah, no, it's good.
But it's that same kind of thing of meta knowledge.
It felt like they were using the meta knowledge when they shouldn't be, because
players' characters.
If you all of a sudden you start staring at a fire, I'd probably ask you what's wrong. I wouldn't go, let's go, in a non-emergency situation, because it wasn't an emergency. I didn't mean to grab you too hard.
It's alright, that totally turns me on. So yeah, essentially that's what we had with that little moment. The Reddit also loved the kiss on the
Let us know what you what you think down below of that. Maybe I'm just being crazy.
So Molly kisses Caleb on the forehead, and Reddit loved that, because maybe they were thinking blossoming romance, potentially, or something there.
Again,
so
why?
Nice. We don't know. Reddit does have a tendency that...
It would only make sense if Molly knew what was going on.
Yeah. Understand.
Not happy. I'm not happy with the bitterness.
In classic Critical Role style, the guest gets the final "how do you want to do this?"
Yeah.
By slaying the Manticore, throws the fireball down his mouth, bursts out the chest. He actually says, because you were talking about chaotic good kind of thing, he did it to put the mother at rest. The mother's lost the child. That's intense.
Because of not.
Yeah, because of not, essentially. Yeah. So it was a mercy kill, he said. Then they loot, and there's a lot of cool stuff. Some goggles, some gloves from the priestess. And then Matt's wrap-up of the episode was absolutely gorgeous, completely beautiful, just this wonderful little soliloquy.
Basically from a narrative point of view, they just got out of the mine, went about the city, and then Shakadara.
It's a hard one.
Shikasta basically walks into the sunset.
He draws an H in the sand with his reed and then retreats into the forest. Yeah. And that's essentially the episode.
It was beautiful.
So 3 combats, which I think is the most, or tied for most, that we've had in a Critical Role. That's a lot of combat. And 3 full maps.
It was a 4.5-hour episode as well, so it was a meaty one.
Although the last 20 minutes was not actual gameplay.
Yeah, it was a roundabout.
Yeah. So that's the wrap up. Now we'll do what we do at the end of the videos, which is go through your comments.
So wait, MVP was
Shikasta,
cool.
Of course. This guy nailed it. I would have believed that he'd been a D&D-er for life with his kind of like quality roleplay.
He was perfect. Yeah. All right, so last week we forgot to do the question. So we're going to do... What do you mean? You had it on your screen and we picked it just before we started.
I was hoping you wouldn't see that.
We even made the joke at the start of that episode that we need to make sure we have a comment.
And then we didn't even do the comment.
I know. So we're going to do 2. So one of them's going to be from episode 5 review and one's going to be episode 6.
In case you don't know what 5 and 6 are, I'm just doing their hands for you.
I do that. You're copying me. I'm stealing your thing. You're stealing mine. We're being around each other.
We're becoming attuned to each other.
Yeah. All right. So the first one is actually about the accent of Ford during his vision.
Yeah.
It's a very long comment.
Which we like.
Yeah.
Give us something to do.
But basically the summary of it. Do you want to read the first line?
Sure.
Not that one.
Sure.
So
I definitely believe the accent change from Texan to British by Travis is deliberate. Here are a few reasons why.
Now, there's a few reasons there. I would try and put them there, and you may not be able to read it, but they're very, very good points. Now, this was before Talks Machina happened for that week, and Travis confirmed that it was deliberate.
Yeah, if you want to say the comment, you could just jump to the video, which is on this channel, and then read the comments.
Yeah, but ultimately, this was just a theory before. It is confirmed now. So the accent is a fake accent.
In the Aziz, I butchered your name. Well done. That's well sawn. Yeah, yep.
I think everyone had that theory. It was a big. It was well spread in the community.
Yeah.
But to have it actually confirmed on Talks shows we're definitely on the money there. So it'll be interesting to reason why he's doing that.
Yes. Ooh, exciting. And yeah, thank you very much. And the other comment is from. Help me here, Dave.
Ty Pollitt.
Ty Pollitt.
Ty Pollitt.
Ty Pollitt.
Ty. You can see it on the screen.
Yeah.
Ty Pollitt. Go, read it.
Which one? There's two.
The second one.
Asking the whole, are you going to do your thing? Thing was in reference to summoning the dancing lights person, not to him potentially being a werewolf. Due to not being away from the party during the prep phase and her not knowing about Caleb's concentration being taken up by a different spell. That is called proper use of character and player knowledge separately. Also, on the brothel talk, it was 8 years ago, and yeah, he looks kind of familiar. It's way different than what we said, which was she was 8 years old and doesn't remember.
Yeah, so that's basically us being called up on a few mistakes, because I interpreted when I think it was not, do you want to do your thing?
Yeah.
To be turned into a werewolf. So
Hulk out.
I was under the impression it was controlled.
Yeah.
However, I think it's more of the light thing, which he uses quite a lot in this episode anyway. Yeah. So I was wrong there.
Yeah, and I had said that maybe Jester worked on a brothel because of what I had heard whilst I was watching the episode. But no, I get your point. That is a different kind of way. She said it quickly, and I was. But it's good to be caught up on that stuff because we're growing, we're learning these characters. We're in a very awesome and unique stage of the campaign that we're just learning all the little things about characters. So it's always good to have a speculation or have a good theory and then have it either confirmed or denied. Because we are crazy conspiracists. But yeah, so...
You more than me.
The Illuminati controls the government and MTV rules the world.
He said he was part of the Illuminati the other day.
Can't say that on the video, yes, they'll cut my tongue out. Next week, we'll be back with me without a tongue. But no, thanks guys for coming along.
It was an awesome episode overall.
Yeah, and if you like combat, this is the one to check out.
Yeah.
So that's us. Do your thing and like and subscribe us, and because it makes us happy. And
the more love you show us, the more content we're going to produce. I know we're being a bit slack with additional content outside of these reviews.
Yeah.
But if you guys want to watch some more stuff, we've got some on there. Make sure you comment on those videos because it makes us motivated to do more of them. Yeah. And because we're now no longer living together, it makes it a little bit harder.
Also, we've got a special project planned if we hit 500 subs.
Yeah.
Which is very exciting. I'm excited about this. We have to talk about this after this.
We're sitting down and writing... Let's do that. We're writing the script.
Yeah.
It's a scripted...
whatever it is, it's a scripted...
it's a scripted thing.
Little bit of tidbit there.
Yeah.
But yeah, thanks to everyone that's been commenting and liking. And
we might as well mention thank you this person. I can't remember your name because I didn't write this down and I should have prepped it. He bought our hoodie.
Oh, yeah.
And he took a photo and sent it. Have I showed you that?
Yes.
Yeah, I've showed you that.
It's amazing.
Yeah, and it's a little bit off-center, but that's kind of defines us. We're a little bit off-center.
That was awesome.
That was amazing.
We put some merch up and he bought the hoodie almost immediately.
Yeah, and the more we sell of them, the more likely we're going to come up with more designs and stuff because it helps us do what we are loving doing at the moment.
Do you mind, because you're editing this, if I ask for a picture right now?
Yeah, I'm going to put the... because I'm...
No, I mean for something else.
Okay, what?
And we got some fan art of me and Dave, which I loved. I'm going to get this printed out and framed and put on my wall. You can see it. It's here. Look, I got eyes.
I was extremely flattered by it, but I kind of look like this.
You just like lovesick. I've got 3 eyes now. One of them is looking at Dave.
Not this.
I've
heard this.
So one is looking at me. That's ego. Yeah, I'm totally egotistical. Nailed it. One is looking at Dave. That's the strength. That's the bond here. Yeah, I see that. And the third eye is looking to the future.
Or he just drew eyes in random directions.
Told you, Illuminati rules the world. Anyway, thank you guys for coming along on this episode. Please like and subscribe. Well, don't please. Just comment. Do what you want to do.
If you want to help us out on the merch stuff, even donating $1, that helps us as well because it means we can build a set and so forth.
We're poor. Help us.
To be honest, I want to keep on doing this for a very long time.
Yeah, we love doing this, and we love that you guys are... Yeah,
Let's just sign off.
Yeah,
we need a catchphrase. We need to work on a catchphrase to sign.
Nerds of power!
Not nerds of power, alright?
Hashtag nerds of power.
It's not been funny, never been funny.
It wasn't supposed to be funny, it was supposed to be inspiring.
Not. Yeah, okay, we have to think, we're going to try a catchphrase until one sticks.
You do realise that most of the time our wrap-ups are longer than the extras.
I know, but let's just think of something.
Oh, well, what about my one that I do quite often? Good evening, afternoon, morning, wherever you are in the world. Did that work?
That was generic.
Yeah, I need coffee.
You have too much coffee.
Hi guys, welcome to NPCs of Wildemount. As you know, we don't go in too much into I knew he was going to do that, comments on the battles, and I cannot keep a straight face. Fuck it. Start again.
Oh, god damn it.